Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, man. Hood Talks TV, man. I'm finna start broadcasting my stuff live here in a little bit. But I just need y'all to come check me out, man. Get a hold to the channel, man. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Hey, to stay away, please. But basically, it's like, basically I'm coming on here telling my story, telling, like who I am, what I've been through, things that I've happened, come across, encounter, anything like that, man. And I'm new to the YouTube thing, but bear with me because you only get better. You only would get better with age. That's what they say. But by the way, my name is Jamal. I'm out of Wichita Falls, Texas, which is an hour and a half, probably 2 hours outside of Dallas. And yeah, man, I've been here born and raised. I grew up here. You get what I'm saying? But I moved around through a period of time. I did move around. I've been to Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been to Atlanta. I've been to, a few different places, went to school, did a couple different things. And that's where that play into part two. Like the things that I've done in life, like moving here, trying to do this and that, like it's going to play a big part in it. But mainly touching up on the topic today on where I come from and who I am. I'm from a small town called Wichita Falls, Texas. Everybody know everybody. You might end up having sex with your cousin. That's how little it is. It's just like that. But make a long story short, man, I went to Hershey High School. I went to McNeil Junior High School. I went to K. Burgess, K. Haynes. I done went to every elementary in this town, like every elementary. So when it comes to the elementary, I ain't even gonna name them because it's so many of them. But back on the topic though, yeah, I grew up when I first like had to jump off the porch and just realize when stuff was really real was I was like, I've been seeing stuff all my life. Like let's start there. I've been seeing stuff all my life. Like my mom's, she's no longer, but my mom was on drugs, well as my dad was on drugs. And they were on drugs when me and my brother and my sisters was at a young age. I got 4 sisters and 1 brother. You get what I'm saying? And they was doing drugs at the time when we was coming up. My sisters, they got the good life. And I'm gonna get to that in another part of the story. But my sisters and them, they got the good life. Me and my brother, we really had to struggle. We had to come up seeing our parents on drugs. We had to sometimes go out and fend for ourselves, like it got real bad. And that's where, if you watch me and my story, like you will understand, like you will get more and more as I tell you. But yeah, man, it started off when I was young, man. Everything was fine at first. Everything was good. That's how I'm gonna say it. Like everything was good. But like we was seeing stuff, we was seeing them do drugs at a young age too, you know what I mean? But we were still making it happen. They were still making it happen. We still had a place to stay. We still had a couple cars, all that. That's the beginning of it. But like as we got, like 7 and 8, next thing I know, we getting in trouble. We in juvenile halls about things that we didn't even do, but we in juvenile halls, and we doing all kind of different stuff. Man, we got taken from our moms like when we was young. I can't even remember, but it started out. The hard time started and we separated from our parents, and I remember we was staying in hotels with different people. And I remember I was hustling. I was in the crack game. That's what I did. I sold crack cocaine. And I was only like 11, 12 years old. I was just now able to go to junior high school. I wasn't even in junior high school. I was in 6th grade going on to 7th grade. And man, all I knew was, sell crack. That's how to get you quick money. That's all I knew. So what I do, I jump in the crack game, man. I go buy me a 50. And it was going so good, like I sold it so easily. I'm like, well, I just got $100 off my 50. It wasn't even $100. It was like $90 the first time. I was like, I got $90 off my first 50. I just gained $40 off of. So I took it in interest, like, hey, this is the way to go. This is what we should do. So it goes by, like we didn't, like My mom had ended up going to state jail at one point in time, so my dad had to get me. She left custody of my dad. My dad had to get me. And he was actually on drugs too. But at the end of the day, when it came to him to getting his kids, he actually did stop smoking for a period of time just to get a job and to go work and to pay the rent for us. You get what I'm saying? And as he did that, and the place he got for us, he went and got us a place, you know, down to like on Austin Street. He went and got us a place. And when he got that place, I was going to like K Hangs or whatever. And he got us that place or whatever. And we had met up with some people that stayed next door that sold drugs. They had money all the time. They had the new PlayStation and all that. So I used to be over their house all the time, but I still had to go to school and all that. And when they wasn't looking, you know, I'd take a little $10 or $15 here and there when they leave all their money out and just go give it to my parents. You know what I mean? Go give it to them. I felt like it made them happy. So, hey, I just want to make them happy. So, long story short, my mom ended up getting out. And she ended up getting out, and my dad went right back to it. He went right back to it. You know, we in apartments, we still staying together, all that. But my dad went right back in the full-fledged, staying gone days. Okay, cool. So after that, this is when I end up in the hotel that I just said about. I end up in a hotel with an old school player named Black Car Driver, man. So shout out to the Black Car Driver, man. He taught me everything I know with the, you know what I mean, how to do it, when to do it, you know. Like, and I got to stand with Black Car Driver, man, and he was like, man, hey, man, look, I ain't finna tell you what to do, but, man, you got to do something. You just can't be standing around here. So I'm like, teach me how to hustle, you know, teach me how to, what's the cons that I need. I know how to hustle. I know how to chop it. Teach me shit I need to know. So he ended up teaching me this stuff. At this time, I didn't even know how to roll a blunt. This nigga taught me how to roll a blunt. You feel me? Like, it forced me to roll a blunt because he left a cigar there with a blunt, with a fat blunt, and I had to roll it up, and I couldn't get high unless I wanted to roll it, unless I rolled that blunt. So I ended up rolling the blunt. So he basically taught me like, hey, nigga, somebody, at all times, you know what I mean? Like, you might have somebody there at most times, but somebody ain't gonna be there all the time. So you gotta learn how to do it yourself. And he taught me that. And you know, he taught me a lot to the game. You know, he started, you know, like he used to go to his baby mama house all the time. Shout out. You know, I still see her, you know, but he used to go to his baby mama house all the time. And when he went to his baby mama house, that was my time to shine. I would hustle for him. I would make the money and, you know, I'd get it going. And I remember one night, man, I'm talking about, it was jumping. Like, it was jumping. They knocking on the door left and right. And he told me this night, he was like, don't sell no drugs. And I'm like, don't sell no drugs. All right, cool. So I'm sitting there playing the game, just chilling and shit. Next thing I know, you know, motherfucker knock on the door. I'm like, ain't nothing. We ain't doing nothing. Another knock, you know, ain't nothing. Next thing I know, about that third knock, I'm going in the box, you know what I mean, to get it right. So, boom. I ended up making a good stack that night. You know, I ended up making a good pretty penny that night. And I'm thinking he gonna be happy. I'm like, damn, I just made you this much money. He gonna be happy. He gonna be so cool. That later on that days come and he come in, I say, man, look in the box. And he look in the box and he just drop his head. And I said, what, man? What? I made you. He was like, man, didn't I tell you not to sell nothing? I'm like, bro, they was just knocking down the door. What you want me to do? I'm 12 years old at this time. You feel me? He was like, man, I told you not to sell because of feds raid on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And, you know, he started giving me the days that they raid on. And when he said that, I'm like, oh, okay. You know, so I'm starting to realize, but he much older. So he know a lot more than I do. You get what I'm saying? So I'm starting to realize, like, yeah, okay, I messed up. You feel me? I know not to do that again. And I remember a little bit after that, I say it was about 4 months after that, my brother pulled up on me. My brother was 13. We're a year apart. My brother pulled up on me, and he was driving like a 1990 Jeep Wagoner or something. You know, one of them old motherfuckers. He was driving one of them. And he had like a big-ass chopper on the back seat. And he had a crack sack that was bigger than the whole Ziploc bag. I'm like, damn, bro, I'm scared for him because he got so much. I'm like, God damn, bro. And he chopped it up with me. I think he bought me a pair of shoes, because he always used to look out for me, and I'm going to tell these stories and he going to hear about him a lot. But he used to always look out for me, bought me a pair of shoes and shit, it was like, hey, bro, we still woo. I'm like, yeah. So, I ended up getting, a little bit past that. I'd say about 2.5 weeks after that, school was about to start back. And I'm 12 years old at the time. I'm just out here with the grown-ups slanging crack at the time. So I'm bored. Like, I'm tired of hanging around grown people. We can't comprehend on nothing. We ain't got nothing in common. I'm just around grown people doing grown shit all day, and it got boring. And I told myself, man, I want to go back to school. I want to be around people that's like me. For all the kids out there, go get your education. Ain't nothing out here in these streets for none of you kids. I promise I done been there. I done did that. I had to sell crack at the youngest age, and it taught me to, how to tell other kids not to don't go that way. So I couldn't find my mom and daddy at this time. I couldn't find them. So I end up having to go to the downtown school district myself. I gave them a sob story. Yeah, I can't find my parents. All I want to do is learn. I ain't been to school and such. They felt so bad for me. They was like, come on, come with us. And they went ahead and we got me in school without my parents. We got me in school. And so the deal was I would go to Zundy. And so I'm hyped. I'm excited. I got drug money to go buy my school clothes. All the money I got up out the streets, I'm paying smokers to go in there, and smokers are people that use, by the way. So I'm paying, users to go in the mall and steal me clothes and shoes and whatever else I needed. I'm paying them to go steal me, and they wasn't charging me nothing like $80 a time we went in there. I'm paying them though. It's cool. I still got the money. So come time, the first school I want to go to was McNeil. I was in the 7th grade. Boom. I went to McNeil, and I'm going to school with my nephew. My nephew was right up under me. He like a year or 2 years up under me, and people don't understand. They like, this your nephew, but y'all the same age type. But yeah, that's my nephew. I go to school with my nephew and them, and I go around a group of kids, and they having a conversation. They talking about what they parents didn't buy for them, what they mama didn't buy for them, what they daddy didn't buy for them, like the new shoes. So, I come in the conversation and I'm like, yeah, hey, look, I bought this, I bought these and I bought that. And everybody looking at me like, nigga, you ain't bought, come on, stop lying. So everybody looking at me like I'm lying now. So don't nobody want to even conversate with me because I'm acting like I done bought the stuff, and that was unbelievable then, with kids, that was unbelievable. So they shooing me off. They don't want to, associate with me because they think I'm over here lying, basically. And I'm like, no, I bought these. I bought all this. And, I just didn't get into detail how I bought it and who, So from then, I'm like, dang, I guess me and these kids don't have nothing in common because they talking about going home, getting a good meal. They talking about getting taken here, getting picked up, and they talking about all that, and I didn't have all that. So, I couldn't talk about that with them. You get what I'm saying? So, at a point, I ran out of them clothes, and I wasn't hustling no more. So, when I stopped hustling and I ran out of them clothes 3 weeks to a month later, I end up wearing the same dirty clothes. And to stop from just being seen, I used to do shit just to go to ISS, just to go to, so they could send me to isolation, and I would add time on top of time. When I finished that time and everything, because I dropped out of school again, but when I finished that, I had 3 months in there, 3 months in ISS, just straight, just because I didn't want to go outside and show people what I was wearing, or, I was dirty or whatever the case might be. So I used to stack up the time just to stay in there. Okay, cool. I decided that I didn't want to go I decided I didn't want to go to school no more because of that. So I end up dropping out again. I get to hanging around in Linwood and Amber Falls, with the homies, with all the grown people. I get into all kind of extra stuff, caught up in people going to rob people and doing all that, running back to the house I'm in. So the police kicking in that door. And, I'm going through all that. And I decided once again, this is the next year coming around when I wanted to go back to school. I'm like, man, I need to go back to school, man. I just need to go back to school. And I was like, forget it. This is before school was out, though. But for the summer, I went up there. Man, I tried to play the same sob story. But I go to a different school, which was Zundy. And so I never went my 7th grade. Remember, I dropped out after the first, so I missed all that. So I was supposed to stay in the 7th grade. But when I went to Zundy, they, felt me again, felt my story again. So they actually told me to come back. They was like, come back at the start of the year and we're going to get you in here. So I held them to it. When the start of the year came, I went right back to there. I went right back to the school. I went and, did everything. And they ended up getting me right back in school. And I was still in the 7th grade, though. So all I remember is somebody told me, one of my classmates told me one day, he was like, hey, man, if they ever ask you if you feel like you advanced enough to, or you shouldn't be in this grade, tell them, yeah. Tell them you want to, whatever they talking about. So I'm like, yeah, all right, bet. I don't pay no mind to it. But they came and asked me that one day. And I remember what he said. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm advanced. Yeah, I'm too advanced for them. So next thing I know, I just had to finish off that year in school from 7th grade, and I'll just get bumped up to my right grade. I skipped the 8th grade and went straight to the 9th grade. I skipped the 8th grade, went straight to the 9th grade. And they did the paperwork. It took me to the high school tour and all that. And I actually picked Hershey High School, which is in Linwood. And that led me to Linwood in high school, High school, I was still dibbling and dabbling in drugs. I was still selling drugs and trying to go to school. And but I'll fall off and sometimes I won't sell them. And then I have to get on. I get on like when the first of the month or something came, when I know I can get some money, I get on to something and I just, get back to it. But like for the most part, like it took like a heartbreak for me to realize like if you're going to do this, go hard in it, And my daddy had introduced me to one of his homeboys from back in the day that, had love for him or whatever. So he turned me on to him. And so when he turned me on to him, I, was messing with him. So I'm messing with him so much, he started to like me because he's like, man, this young nigga get money. This young nigga get money. So he started offering me stuff that ain't none of my homeboys and nobody got. Man, I'll give you this. I'll sell you this. I'll woo. And ounces back then, like, they was like 1,000, like 1,100, shit like that. But he would always be like, man, give me 800. Give me 800. I get, give me 900. I give you this, and give me player deals. So one of my homies, man, I had this nigga I used to hang with in high school. Well, I used to hang with a few of them, but this one particular nigga, man, I used to hang with him tough, and I fucked with him because I liked how he rolled. So I started fucking with this girl, which was actually my brother's girlfriend's friend. Like, it was his girlfriend at the time. It was her friend. I still call her sister today, but it was her friends. And I started fucking with her. I'm fucking with her tough. I'm driving the car, riding in the car. She fine. She yellow bone. She, like, everywhere we went, we can get shit free on the strength of her. Just on the strength of, you know what I mean? So I'm fucking with her tough. You hear me? I'm fucking with her. The nigga, one of my homeboys they actually, I pick him up with her. Hey, nigga, this woo, I'm not thinking nothing of it. But that's when you got to learn, like not to trust everybody. You feel me? You trust them certain people, but not to trust everybody. So I go pick him up one day. And, we smoking and all that. And he peeping the whole time. He peeping the female. I'm not even worried about it. I'm just sitting there smoking, talking, And next thing I know, a couple days down the line, a couple weeks down the line, me and the female in the bed, and I just said something. I forgot what it was. I said something, and it made her mad. She just clicked. And just like, what? I'm finna walk home because she didn't have a car at this time. My mom and them took her car. So she pulled up her pants and just stormed out the door. And we just got through fucking this shit. I got my nut. I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, all right, bet. So she ended up leaving, walking home or whatever shit. I'm calling the house, make sure she get there and all that shit. She don't never answer the phone. So she don't answer the phone for a day or something. So I end up like getting curious, like, man, what's up? I told somebody, man, take me over there. Ooh, take me over there. They end up taking me over there. And when I walk in the up the driveway, the car on. You know what I mean? I guess she got a car back, so the car on. I walk up to the car. I see my homie in there. Her and my homie in there, they big smoking. I open his side door. I look at him like, damn, for real? You just gonna? So I say, all right, bet. Say less. Shut the door. And I went back to the car that I came in. I ain't gonna lie, my feelings were hurt like a motherfucker. Like, I'm crushed at the time. You get what I said? So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm finna get my shit right and I'm finna shit on these niggas. Y'all got me fucked up. Watch this. Niggas gonna wanna be around me after this. So I went back to what I knew. I'm still going to high school. And I went back to what I knew though, which was selling drugs. You know what I mean? I was selling weed, pills, and crack. And I went back to selling drugs and shit, and I actually started coming up because I was determined. I was mad. Had a point to prove to motherfuckers. So I actually started coming up, and I started buying these cars. And they was old school cars. I think I had like 3 of them at one time or some shit like that. But I started buying these cars, and I'm buying the cars. They got beat on them, little rims on them, and you know I'm 16, so I'm thinking I'm the shit. I'm doing my thing. You feel me? Next thing I know, my homeboy, his brothers, and they walking through Upper Falls. They walking through the apartments. So they come through the apartments, and you know they see the cars out there and shit. And you know, Class, he always hyped about shit. Oh shit, this your shit, Class, man. That's how clean this. Man, you doing your thing. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like. And, you know, everybody else just looking like, damn, this nigga, you know, like, and I know what's up, you feel me? Yeah, this how I do. You feel me? Like, yeah. And I stopped hanging with them for a second, you know, just try to prove a point. Next thing I know, they trying to migrate down there to where I'm at, try to hustle and, you know, and shit, you know, they did, shit. I let them come down there, shit. After we got over that shit, nigga, we started hustling, you feel me? Like, we started hustling, we was getting it. And another subject, I shouldn't have went in business, but I went in business with a nigga like that fucked me. But, you know, that's another story for another time. But, yeah, man, I done been through a lot, man. I remember, like, getting taken away from my mom's, man. Like, we was in we stayed on Austin Street in the house, though, at this time. And at this time, my mom was going with this dude named Terrence, which was my daddy's friend when he went to the pen. But she was going with a dude named Terrence, and, like, he was teaching us how to smoke. I'm thinking this, you know, he teaching us how to smoke and shit just because he want us out their hair so they can smoke, you know. And shit, I'll never forget it. Like I had picked up a cigarette one day and I did what he told me. He was like, man, after you hit the cigarette and inhale it, swallow some water and you won't cough. You won't do no coughing. So I did it and it worked. And I'm looking at him like I go to him busting the room. They smoking drugs. I go busting the room like, hey, Uncle Terrence, I did it. It didn't do, you know, like I'm thinking I should win a prize for this shit. But nigga, there ain't no average motherfucking kid doing this. We about like 7 and 8 at the time. Ain't no average kids doing this shit. And I remember at the time we was living bad. We was doing bad. And I used to ride skates all the time. I was, you know, a fan of skating. And I used to ride skates all the time. And I rode them so much with no socks on, it used to give me like little, like it'll scrape the skin off my ankles, like the bone on your ankle. And when they did that, when I was going to school, I guess the teachers had seen it one day or something. And they ended up calling CPS on my mom's. So my mom was going through with CPS, but she battled her drug addiction too. And I remember like it was yesterday, one day they come to the house banging on the door with police officers. And they banging and banging. My mama, she finally answered the door. They come straight in and take me and my brother. My brother, he tried to run. He tried to run off. You know, I'm just like crying, don't know what the fuck to do. And my mama, she trying to fight him. She crying, you know, fucked up is experience you can have. Like your mama just crying for you and trying to reach for you and can't touch you. But like they end up taking us to the place called the Children's Home, you know. And, you know, we end up standing there for a few months and shit. or just like a month or two, until, they figured out. Because they give you steps, like if you want to get your kids back, hey, you're going to have to do these steps. And then if you complete them, then we're going to give them back. If not, we're going to send them somewhere. So my mom, she coming up there, she, walking up there to see us in the hot, she hot, sweating. I remember her shit coming in the visitation room, she's sweating down. Like, and she bought us some glasses, like when that movie Wild Wild West came out. She bought us his glasses. And, like the hardest thing with that was just seeing her go. Like, just knowing we not going home with somebody we been with our life. Just knowing we not going with her. It's just like, it fucked us up a lot, And my brother, he was more messed up than I was. He was like, he was crazy about it. He went crazy about it. So, like, he didn't take it well. And he didn't never, like, get along with nobody or nothing because of it. And he used to act out so much, they had to send him other places. He could never be around me. They wouldn't leave him around me. Like, because he would act out so much. He wasn't taking shit. He wasn't hearing shit. It's just how he was. Like, if he can't get to his mama and, like, he going to hell or wherever, you feel me? So, they always kept us apart. So, they end up trying to get us together because my mama didn't get right, So, they put us together and they end up trying to shove us in this boys' home. They took us in boys' home. It was in Stanford, Texas. And, they took us to the boys' home, and I remember as soon as my brother dropped his bags, he just started spazzing out, breaking shit, throwing shit, just doing whatever he could do, they came and got him that day and sent him to, like, a Red River hospital. Like, we gonna show you what you wanna, they sent him off somewhere I don't even know, like, and, I ended up going to see him later. He was in Red River Hospital, and he was like, man, he was shook. He was like, man, bro, they crazy in here, bro. They make you shit in the toilet and leave it in there, and they pick through it. I said, what, bro? Like, I'm like, you need to get the fuck up out of here, bro. Like, but, like, I ended up going to the boys' home, and I guess after that, my brother ended up going to Breckenridge boys' home or something, somewhere in Breckenridge. He played basketball and stuff, but I was in the boys' home and I met a few people. I met a homie from Amarillo, Texas. His name was Cleavon. Shout out Cleavon. If you gonna ever see this, shout out Cleavon. I remember Mexican. Mexican was a little short Mexican and black nigga. He had long ass hair, long ass nails, little player ass nigga. Mexican. We had a white boy Jeremy in there, white boy named David Dodge. He was kin to some folks from down here that I had met. But it was David Dodge, and it was just us and me. So, time started flying by, man. Time started flying by. I never knew, like, this is, like, when I look at it now, I figure out that it was racism. And it's gonna fuck y'all up. I figured out that it was racism. But then looking at it, I didn't look at it like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I looked at it as like, oh, shit, this is just what they do. This is how they roll, like, type shit. But they used to lock me in fucking closets. Like, I'll fucking be throwing a fit and shit. Like, I'm in that bitch throwing a fit. You get what I'm saying? I'm in that hoe for hours. But they'll do it smart. They'll lock me in a closet full of books. Like, we just wanted them to read. And, I didn't get it then, but I get it now. And it was crazy because I felt like it was like, like they was choosing side or picking certain, you get what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know. I just feel like, all right, so if y'all gonna treat me like this, I might as well do the bad shit. And, like, so I started sneaking out smoking cigarettes and, doing everything. But they start catching us. They catch us, like they catch us here and there. And the thing is, we never, like, out of all the time, my mama wrote me like 12 letters, 13 letters. I was only in her for like 9 months to a year. 13, 12 letters. I never got one of them. They kept them all from me. 2 weeks before my mama came and got me, they gave me all the letters at one time. And I'm reading the letters, getting confused because of the first letter I read was talking about they was on their way to get us, who was coming home and all that. So I'm excited. The second letter after that, I'm reading this talking about, yeah, just give me a little bit more time. I'm coming to get y'all. So I don't know what's going on. I'm just reading different letters. But that was when they let them know that I was going home. And, So at the end of the day, like, they used to do me wrong, sit me in corners, do all kind of different weird ass shit. Just to, like, I don't know what it was for. Lock me in my room. It was weird as hell. But then, like, I'm knowing this now, it was white people, and I'm a fucking little black kid that don't got no ownership over shit. They got ownership on me. So, like, it was the white boy Jason in there. He had a PlayStation. I couldn't touch it. I couldn't play. They would sit there and play that game. I couldn't play. Straight like that. And it wasn't shit, because I thought that's just how they roll. So at the end of the day, I just let it go. And my mama actually ended up coming to get me. She ended up pulling up outside with my brother, and shit got us away from there. And for me to be able to tell my story today is a blessing. Like, because I done been through so much. I done been through a lot more than just that. This is just my coming up, and me, telling y'all how I come up and who I am, as a child, who I was as a child. But stay tuned on Hood Talks TV, man. And I got more videos for y'all, man. And I just need y'all to bear with me, give me time. But I got more videos for y'all. And y'all gonna get to know a lot more about me, man. If you do want to know about me, man, just click and watch. That's all. It don't cost nothing to watch, man. So let me get some views. Let me get some subscribers, man. And we're gonna go up from here, man. Peace. Love y'all.